Howdy lovelies, how are you all doing? Welcome back to Wawa Crafting, where we learn, grow and craft together. Today's session is very easy. We are going to make faux rice paper, and what do we need for that? We need those parts of the serviettes that we actually pulled from the back before we use the glad wrap. We call it glad wrap, cling wrap. In America it's saran wrap to adhere it to paper. So the pieces that's left behind, I don't tear it just with sellotape or sticky tape to pull it right off. I slowly, carefully pull it from the sides. So we're going to use that today to make our own faux tissue paper. Let's get on with it. What do we need for this? We need the backings from those serviettes, some archival ink or permanent ink, and some stamps. So grab those favorites of yours and we can get stamping away. A stamp block always helps to make your stamping more even. I'm going to work with just one layer. These were really small serviettes, and I'm going to turn over and work on the smooth side. So I always start with my lighter color first, and I'm going to stamp a butterfly here and there in different directions. I don't want this to bind me in directionality. And turn it often, and then afterwards you can use some filler stamps and put in what you want. You will see that the archival ink is really truly beautiful in its stamping on this tissue paper. Not done with this, so might have another one. Let's do one in the middle. Get your serviette paper as smooth as possible. See that one now lifted up, which is sad. I can try and fix it, but I might make a mess of it. It's okay, it's okay. We will make it work somehow. So for the next one, I'm going to take a small postcard stamp. I have this on my desk still. I have been sorting out stamps, and this one actually popped in with my actual tickets. And because we have postcards and butterflies, we will then add some postage stamps to it. So you can now start filling in your tissue paper the way that you like it. Just going to move this out of the way and grab 2 sets from the pile. Before we add that, I think a little bit here. Let's see what we can add. AML maybe. What is it that's really cute? I like this tiny little number at the bottom of the set. And one just popped off. I try to keep my sets together. I'm going to just stamp this here and there at random. Just some sort of a pattern. I might be out of view here for you. I'll try to rectify that in a moment. And this side too. And you can now continue to fill your stamp with your favorites. Try to stick to one type of, well, I call it a theme, just to make it a little bit more believable, thematic, and it doesn't just look as if you have added a bunch of stamps just at random, just because you had it on your workbench type like thing. We would want it to make sense and make a beautiful piece of art. That is why we do this. And yes, there's no right or wrong, but themes and color schemes really plays a role. And now don't let me stop you from doing. If you only have one set of stamps, go with that set. Normally a set goes together. They work well together. For a reason, they were designed that way. So use that as your guide to help you in selecting a stamp. Even if there's just stamps, for instance, if you have this stamp set, it can be any stamp set. You have this stamp set, go with that. It will work together. I want to actually bring in a few darker ones. As well. So I'm going to swap my color quickly for ground espresso. Mind you, I've got coffee too. We can even go lighter. You can do this in any color. You know by now I prefer to work in vintage style. Sorry for that. Where I store my ink, it's in that way. So let's do coffee, which is similar to vintage, but there are so many beautiful stamps that we can add quite a few of them, and we will never get bored. It's just impossible. So I've added it there. We now need one, maybe there, one there. I'm just trying to get a variety all over. One there, and then we can start at random around the edge as well, just to fill that up. Again, it doesn't have to be in a direction. That way you're not bound with directionality. Maybe one that side, that's in a different direction. That can work, and we can fill it up. Let's see, something square maybe. That was almost on my project. Luckily it wasn't directly on the project, which is fortunate enough. And I'm just adding those in different directions, filling in some spaces. And there we have that one. Now to get a little bit of text in there, maybe in a different color, I am going to grab one of Tim's set, or Tim's sets. It's from it's the sets that he promotes as mixed media sets. Comes with a stencil. I am stamping it up, or inking up rather, on the stamp block, but I'm going to take it off the stamp block so that I can actually use this and stamp, because I do not want complete stamps, just little bits here and there, so much so that you wonder, is that a stamp? Filling in areas. Maybe I have stamped in an area already, redoing it in a different direction. And I think this is really coming together nicely. Might want some of them a bit darker. Fill in other areas. I like this. I really do. Let's turn the direction a bit, so we have other areas filled in as well. I think this is where I will stop with this one. So you get the idea. You can then fill in those pieces of scrap that comes from the serviette when you are doing that technique, and you now have a wonderful piece of tissue paper that you can use in your projects. In the next random session, I will show you how to use this and incorporate it in a project. Thank you for joining me. Please go try this for yourself, and if you do, tag Wawa Crafting on social media. If you want to see more content like this, give me a thumbs up, and I'll appreciate it if you hit that subscribe and notification bell at the same time so that you can be notified of any new content that I upload. See you back soon. Goodbye.